Hi everyone and welcome to another painting tutorial. So today I'm going to take you through how I painted this Space Marine of the Lamenters chapter, specifically the Retro Lamenters chapter from the Badab War. So over a white scar undercoat, I'm just going to begin by applying some Bad Moon Yellow contrast paint and contrast medium, and we're looking at a half-half mix and just a single coat of this over the entirety of the power armor. So just to give a nice smooth start to the shoulder pad, I decided to just do a single watered down base coat of Dead White by Vallejo. And now to begin shading, I decided to use Magma Droth Flame contrast paint and contrast medium, again a 50-50 mix, and you'll want to just use this quite sparingly and just be as careful as you can not to go over too much of the yellow. Now if that does happen, a little trick that I've learned with contrast paint whilst doing this is to quickly wash away, clean the brush I should say, and get a little bit of water and quickly wipe over the area that you want to remove the contrast paint from. So now to begin doing a little bit of highlighting, I decided to use Ice Yellow by Vallejo. Now again, wanting to use this quite sparingly, and mostly some stippling highlights, as you can see, and also a little bit of edge highlighting as well. And now to make a start on the checkered pattern. Now, the Lamenters chapter symbol is well known for being one of the hardest ones to paint, and having given this my first go, I can definitely say that I 100% agree with that. Now, The important thing when doing a checkered pattern is just to initially figure out as to where each square is going to go, particularly on a three-dimensional space of a miniature such as the shoulder pad of this Space Marine. And don't worry too much if you make a couple of mistakes, as of course you can jump back between the black and white to correct those mistakes. And you just want to make sure you're using a really small brush as well. In this case, I believe this brush, I forget the brand specifically, I believe they're called wolf bristle brushes. But yeah, just any size, either 00, 000 brush that's relatively new and in decent enough condition will work just fine. But yeah. And also, definitely want to make sure that you keep the Abaddon black, or whichever black you decide to use, relatively watered down, as it's much better to do just a couple of thin coats in this particular instance, as opposed to applying it on too thick, as it'll make correcting it that much easier when it comes to that stage. So with the black checkers now done, I'm going to go back to Dead White by Vallejo and just begin cleaning up all of those additional squares. Now, don't stress too much if they're not all dead even. I mean, as you can see, even looking at mine here, they're not exactly even all across the board. This is one of those things that you would need quite a bit of practice with. I mean, I'd imagine I'd probably have to do this at least 100 times before it, I felt like I'd somewhat perfected it, I guess would be the way to say it. But these are the sort of things that are really, really worthwhile practicing as a miniature painter or a painter in general. you know, stepping outside the comfort zone and just giving those sort of more complicated designs a go. And as you can see, they're just preparing the centerpiece of the chapter symbol. So with relatively watered down dead white, just going to begin working that around. Now, you will find, due to the fact that it is white over black, that you will have to go over those, the sort of outline area a couple of times, but just make sure you keep your paint relatively thinned down. And yeah, just try and remain patient with it. Now on to the final stage of the chapter symbol, which is a love heart and a drop of blood as well. So just using some Evil Sun Scarlet, as you can see, just getting a nice outline of the design to begin with. And once again as well, just make sure you keep that paint relatively watered down, yeah, you want to try and get a smooth transition, and you can go over this a couple of times as well. Also, just to mention as well, if you aren't happy with the shape of it exactly, if it's not symmetrical on both sides, you can definitely look at jumping back to the white acrylic paint and tidying all of that up. And now just working through the center of the Magmadroth Flame with the Evil Sun Scarlet. Now I'll just be doing this for the stripe on the helmet and then also for the lenses as well. And now to begin doing all of the metal parts. So I went for a bit of a weird mix with this one. I was actually just testing it out, but I've gone with a Baden Black, Lamian medium and metallic medium. We're looking at a 1-1-1 mix for this, and a little bit of water in there as well. Now the metallic medium is by Pro Acryl. It was actually just something I saw when I was making a couple of purchases online, and I saw it and I thought, you know what, I'll give this a go. And it's actually a really fantastic product. Essentially you can add it to any non-metallic acrylic paint and it'll give it that sort of metallic touch to it. So yeah, definitely recommend checking that one out, and it's actually not too expensive. It will last you a while, and yeah, we'll just see how it goes on this bolt gun. So now to just do a little bit of highlighting on the lenses, I decided to use Flash Gets Yellow. For the most part, I really was trying to replicate the photo I found online of the Lamenters Badab War Space Marine. So yeah, just going to do this single little bit of Flash Gets Yellow and then leave it at that. And also just using some Flash Gets Yellow on the right shoulder pad. And for the strap, pouches and pistol holster, I'm just going to use a base coat of Deathclaw Brown by Citadel. And you may need to do 2 coats of this, but yeah, just see how you go with that. Now for this next part, I wanted to make sure I showed you all how I got this mix right. So as you can see, 3 parts Lamy and medium to 1 part Abaddon black, and just mix that all together. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of water to that, as I didn't want this shade to be too strong at all. So essentially looking to go over the bolt gun and all of the brown that we just applied as well. And now just going back to Deathcore Brown, I'm just going to begin highlighting all of the straps, pouches, and gun pouch as well, gun holster. And as an absolute final touch to the miniature, I decided just to go straight to Stormhost Silver by Citadel, and we're just looking to do some really fine edge highlighting on all of the metallics. And here are some photos of the completed Lamenters Space Marine from the Badab War. So I hope you found this tutorial useful today. Please like, share and subscribe. Leave a comment below of something that you might like to see me do next. And I will see you again in the next one.